here you are once again, Influence and Authority with Jamar Suber. I'm here with my man Nick Castro out of Tampa. But listen, we're in the streets of New York this week, New York Fashion Week 2023. This is Nick's first show, but let me say this. Nick, you're a married man, right?
Married. 13 years.
But I heard you got a side piece.
I do.
Tell me about your side piece, man.
My side piece is all things related to fashion. Clothes, shoes, shows related to fashion. I have my own clothing line. It's called My Fashion Affairs. And the meaning behind the brand is I'm really into clothes and fashion. And it got to the point where my wife was accusing me of cheating on her. But on clothes, because I kept having way too many shoes delivered to the house. I would always try to hide any type of bags out, come from the mall.
Yeah.
But I've always growing up, I always want to have my own clothing line. I decided to start the brand, and I named it My Fashion Affairs. I just hit my 1-year anniversary this past June, and this is my first time, being in Fashion Week. The ironic thing is how stars aligned is I had a store in Tampa, and I saw Nicole walking by, and I called her over to tell her about my brand, and she was intrigued. She was just like smirking, and she purchased some items, and before I even did the transaction, I stopped her and I said, tell me about yourself, because you're pretty fly yourself.
Mm-hmm.
She just started laughing more. She was like, I'm in the fashion space. I'm CEO of Noir Fashion Week. I've been in Fashion Week for over 33 seasons. Of course, my smile went ear to ear. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was meant to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of kept in touch, and that's when she told me to apply to see if I can, I'll be able to showcase my bold line here in the U.S.
Amazing.
So I'm a God-fearing man. I serve a mighty God, and makes no mistakes. I'm supposed to meet her.
That's right.
I'm supposed to meet here.
Yeah.
Because of the circumstances I went.
Yeah, I believe it. Nick, let me ask you that. You mentioned the circumstances you went. You serve a mighty God. How important is it as an entrepreneur that you stay on God's path when you're after living out your purpose?
God tests you all the time, and He won't put nothing in front of you that He knows that you can't open up. And it's super important to walk your path because you don't make any mistakes. I had to go through all the trials and tribulations I went through as a brand owner. Even though I still consider myself at the infancy stages of my brand because I still feel like I'm pretty new. I'm about to hit 15 months of having my brand, and I went through a lot. I went through things that I tested to see if it was for me and decided it wasn't for me. So I decided to go like a different route. I do goal right now is to get in wholesale. I have a luxury streetwear brand, and I want to get my pieces in the big box stores like Nordstrom's, Neiman's, Saks, Bloomingdale's. I mean, any one of those. I want to learn how to get there, and I feel like I'm going on the right path. I mean, like I said, 1 year in, I have an opportunity to showcase my fall winter collection in New York during New York Fashion Week. I mean, this was on my bucket list. I'm able to check that off.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: headed towards that space of your bucket list, those times where you felt like you wanted to give up, what kept you going?
I mean, hands down, my spouse. As much as I make my wife the villain in this story, she's my biggest supporter. None of this stuff is possible without her. She's holding the household down. I mean, she's flying up here today, but when I'm gone, traveling, going to trade shows and meeting with people, she's there.
Yeah.
She handles my email marketing, my SMS marketing. Like, a lot of the stuff can't continue to grow without support. And hands down, she is my backbone that helped me got here as well.
So as an entrepreneur in this space, 15 months in, what do you think were some of the hurdles you had to overcome when it comes to running the business to get here?
Oh, and there's so much involved from being business-minded to knowing your why and why you're doing this to changing your mindset, right? I have to understand that my pieces aren't for everybody. I have a specific demographic, and I quit 50 times in these 15 months. Like, I really quit, but guess who brought me back in? My wife.
Yeah.
She's like, you have to go, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So it's all an experience, and right now I've been so humbled and embracing the journey that I'm on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to your brand, you mentioned your demographic. Who's your demographic for this work?
Honestly, it could be anybody. Anybody who likes streetwear, but more a higher end pieces. So I myself, like, I am design. I look at my pieces, designing pieces. So I'll pair my stuff to mix and match with a piece from Target to wearing Balenciaga shoes or Louis shoes. You know, it's a mix and match, and it's really just being confident with yourself, but also something that like the exclusivity, because the way I have my pieces is once I make them and I sell out, I sell out. I'm all about exclusivity, and you know, if you really want and desire it, they absolutely have the opportunity to grab it.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you say you had a location in Tampa?
I did. I signed a small contract for 5 months in one of the local malls. And long story short, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go that route. I tested it out, and after doing it, it just wasn't the trajectory I want to go in. This time of my business, being that so an MC stage, that's not the right way. I want to do wholesale, and I might eventually graduate to getting my own floor prep. Absolutely. But right now, I really want to get like a fulfillment space. I want to use that as everything. You know, to house inventory, to send orders out. Right now, it's mainly online. I do pop-up shops here and there, but I don't know what I don't know, so I'm here learning, and I'm like a 3-year-old right now. I'm like a sponge. We're meeting people and just kind of hearing what they say.
Yeah.
Especially they've been in this industry for such a long time. I made some great connections because I've already been here. Today's like day 4.
Yeah.
My show's today at like 4 p.m. But every day since I've been here, there's something different. We something, you know, meeting somebody that I'm supposed to meet, going through stuff I'm supposed to be doing. It's like there's so much so it's exciting but overwhelming at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just me really managing my emotions, managing, you know, just being the general of my business that I need to make.
Yeah. How important do you think it was to take the risk that you took for getting the mall store? How important was that risk for you?
Honestly, I didn't want to do it at first, but I have mentors, and I got into another brand builder community called Activate Your Vision. It's ran by 2 young entrepreneurs. They have a brand called Worldly Vision, and they're like our mentors. It's a group of brand owners that I'm actually, when I get back, as soon as I get back to Tampa, I'm packing right back up and flying out to Atlanta. And I'm meeting with my group of cohort, other brand owners, to talk about experiences, what works, what don't work. But if it wasn't for them telling me, you know, how else are you going to scale if you're not getting in front of people? Are just going to go to your website unless you got bad dollars to spend on advertisement like Facebook ads. So nobody's going to know about your brand. So me being in the mall, I'm in front of people every day. You know, I have the opportunity to make sales every day. And the crazy thing is, I've never sold. I literally did what I did you. I asked the person if they want, you know, can I tell you about my brand? I tell them the story. I show them my pieces. If they buy, they buy. If they don't, they don't. I don't even tell people prices unless they ask me specific, because they ask for prices, then they're interested. Yeah. But if they don't, you know, buy, they look at me and I'm like, well, thanks for letting me share my brand with you. Because I also look at it as an opportunity for brand awareness, not necessarily just to get sales.
Yeah.
Because I want people to buy it because they like it and want to rock it, versus buy to support. I need that too, people to buy and support, but I don't want people just to buy it to support and put it back in the closet. I'd rather have somebody buy it and knowing that they're going to wear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, this has been wonderful. We're going to have to continue this conversation.
I'm very open to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm always grateful to be able to tell my story for people that want to listen, because my story is a little unique. You know, I have a meaning to it because it's exactly how it started, and I'd like to share, because and I told you about my story behind my brand, you just heard my fashion affairs, you wouldn't really understand the meaning behind that. But that is really the meaning behind the brand.
Absolutely. Man, wonderful. Hey, listen, another wonderful episode of Influence and Authority with Jamar Suber, my guy Nick, and his side piece. Great to meet you.
Pleasure, brother.
Absolutely. Hey, I want